This week on SPNN Forum, I am sitting down with Siddeeqah Shabazz, a local playwright. Stay tuned. Welcome to SPNN Forum. I am your host, Anahita Champion, and joining me once again in the SPNN studio is Siddeeqah Shabazz. Hi, girl.
Hey, how's it going?
So good. So good to have you back.
Thank
I'm
you.
also realizing that we're vibing in teal.
When I saw you, I was like, yes. I didn't know if it was intentional or not, but I love the intentionality or the coincidence. It works.
All of it works.
Yeah.
And the reason why you're probably wearing teal is because the last time you were here, you were talking about Culture Club Collaborative.
Correct.
Now, this is a total different project, your very own, your baby. You are a local playwright, and you have a play coming out called...
They wear teal ribbons around their tongues.
See the teal? See how it works? Okay, let's talk about your background. Before we get into the actual production, talk about how you even got into the creative arts.
You know what? It's so funny. So growing up, so I'm from Oakland, California, and growing up, I always did poetry. That was my jam. I thought I was going to be a poet, and I was going to be on Oprah and like promote my book and everything, right? So this was my dream. And then one summer, I was about 12 years old, and my dad was like, "You're not about to sit around for another summer," and he like forced me and my younger sister into Berkeley Repertory Group Theater in Berkeley, California. And it was for like a summer camp for kids. And we did The Wiz, and I loved it. Like, I resented him at first because I was like trying to be a rebel, and it was like, well, it wasn't my choice. And anyway, he was right. And from then on, I've just been into theater. Like, I did theater in high school. I studied it in college, so I have my degree in theater. And it's something that I've pursued. And so I have been acting here in the Twin Cities. I've been here since 2011. I came here to work for Climb Theater as an actor. So yeah, I've been here for a minute now. And so I've worked as an actor for several years, and it wasn't up until a couple years ago that I was like, oh, I'm kind of exhausted with theater. Is this something I really want to do? And then I was presented with the opportunity by Exposed Brick Theater to write a short play. I did. It was during 2020, so a lot of actors were out of work. A lot of theaters were out because of COVID, and they wanted to continue to employ artists. And so they got a grant to continue doing theater like virtually, and I was able to write my first short play that got produced called A Love Story in 8 Scenes. And from there, it's just something I've fallen in love with.
Look at that. I can just see the passion.
Yeah,
you lit up when you were talking about the shows.
Yeah, it was wonderful, and it was a wonderful experience. And actually for this show, They Wear Teal Ribbons Around Their Tongues, I actually wrote it like 10 years ago.
You did?
Yeah, as a one act. I was out of work. I
Okay.
was an out of work artist.
Let's go back.
Yes.
How and why did you write this particular project?
Right. Okay. So for this show, I was out of work at the time. And there were a lot of shows going up, but they were with a majority like male cast. And I wanted to have like more opportunities for female actors and for African American female actors.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's an all black show. Like,
it is.
Yeah, like the whole cast. Some of the production, our director, who's the ingenious, wonderful, just incredible, creative Lester Mayers. Like, he is wonderful. And
a need-to-know person.
Very much so. Wonderful director. He's a wonderful actor. He's a wonderful dramaturg, a wonderful playwright himself. And I was just so happy and lucky to get him to direct this show. So anyway, so 10 years ago, I wrote the show, and it was a one act, and I wrote it for Fringe, and then I put it away. Didn't do anything with it.
Did you perform it at Fringe?
Nope.
You just
did
wrote
nothing.
it.
I just wrote it, because then I got hired in another job, and then
Life.
just Yes, life started lifing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and so I'm one of the core artistic artists with Full Circle Theater.
Okay.
And that's who's producing the show. And we each get a chance to direct a show, write a show, or what have you. And I was like, well, I've got this show I've never done anything with. And they were like, okay, let's read it. And they're like, well, this is good. You need a full-length show.
Okay.
So take it back, rework it. And I got like inspired with a new structure of the show, new life into the show. It's light. It's kind of a heavy show, so I was able to infuse more comedy into the show.
Okay.
I changed like the whole structure of it, keeping the main theme.
Sure.
And they were like, great, let's produce it. And I was like,
For real?
yeah, me, little me. I'm just a girl from East Oakland. Like,
And more.
and here we are.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so for those that are aspiring playwrights, actors in the arts and theater, what's the one lesson, or maybe more than one lesson, that you can share for folks in that time frame of you have something, you put it away or don't finish it, and then boom. You don't know what you don't know.
Correct.
But what can you share with folks to kind of encourage them?
I would say to just keep doing the work,
Okay.
right? Keep revisiting it. I feel like when I first wrote it, it wasn't ready. Not only did I just not do anything with it, but I felt like there's more edits and things that could have been done, and I wasn't in the space, I feel, or like where I am now. I didn't know as much. You know, I was just like, let me just get this out there, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to like produce a show and all of that.
But you were so eager,
Yeah.
as so many of us in the creative arts are.
Yeah, and once I got the opportunity to rework it and find a place that would put it on, and it's something that maybe even a year from now I could have possibly produced myself. But I had this opportunity, and and I was going back and forth. Oh, should I bring it out? It's really not that great, but with the notes from the Full Circle team and just having the space and time and breath to like really sit down and work on it and just see it with new eyes 10 years later.
Right.
It was wonderful. So I would say keep going back to the thing. Some things, yes, please throw it away. Maybe it doesn't serve you anymore. But I felt like this, especially with the issues that's in this show, it's personal. It's not like autobiographical by no means, but it is experiences that has happened like within my family, that has happened within a lot of families that will come up in the show.
Yeah.
And so this is still an issue that a lot of people are dealing with. And I think it was just important to just bring this back and just kind of revisit it in a new light. And so I would say people just continue working on the thing.
Keep working on it.
Yeah.
Titanic was written over the course of over a decade.
Oh, really? That I didn't know.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we know the story of it.
Yeah.
But James Cameron had worked on that for, Avatar. It was Avatar.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that was in the can for a very long time.
Yes.
And look at what it came to be.
Wonderful.
So whether if it's big project or small project, I really love that insight.
Yeah.
Let's see. The show itself.
Yes.
Let's talk about when, where. Are you partnering? You said Full Circle. I want to hear more. Give us the details of the logistics, and then I want to tap into what is it about.
Okay.
Okay.
So the show opens April 17th. It runs for 2 weeks, Wednesday through Sunday, April 17th through April 28th.
Okay.
All tickets are pay what you can. So no one will be turned away at the door if you don't have a couple dollars. That's totally fine.
Amazing.
It's at the Gremlin Theater, which is right next door to the SPNN studios here, right
Here at the
here.
Vandalia Tower.
Yes, right here. And what was the other question? I'm sorry.
Dates, times.
Yes, 7:30 Wednesday through Saturday, 2 o'clock on Sundays.
Okay, and the runtime for the show is about?
It's roughly 2 hours
hours?
with an intermission.
With an intermission.
Yes.
Can folks get snacks or anything?
That's a
anywhere?
great question.
We shall find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're right next to like places here that serve food,
Yes.
so and can grab a snack. I don't know, and it's at the Gremlin Theater, like I
Okay.
said, and I'm not sure if they have snacks there.
King
or
Coil
not.
is right down the block here.
You've got
and
Monster Brewery right here.
That's right. Sometimes there's a food truck.
Yeah.
And there's an intermission. What's the website folks can go to?
They can go to the Full Circle Theater website.
Okay, so is this a partnership with Full Circle? Like, tell us about Full Circle real quick so we can understand.
So Full Circle Theater, like I'm one of the core artistic artists with them.
Okay.
So I'm not like on the board, but I'm there working with the production team and like helping choosing, what show we're going to do that year. Going over the core values of Full Circle and, mission statement and things like that. And I've been with them 2 years. It was supposed to be 1, and now I'm in my second year, I think, maybe 3.
Look at that.
I think about that, And it's been a wonderful experience working with Rick Shiomi, Martha, oh gosh, how come I can't say this last name? It's a very
beautiful last name.
Martha Johnson. Oh my
Johnson.
gosh. Stephanie Lane Wasseth and Laura Trujillo.
Oh.
And it's been great working with them. And it's a really great theater company. Rick Shiomi and those others, they started this theater company. Rick Shiomi left Theater Moo, was one of the co-founders of Theater Moo.
Wow.
And was with them for about 20 or so years. And then was like, oh, I'm retiring. And then decided to start another theater company. And so
it's just a beautiful compilation of so many folks locally that have all this different theater experience, but also different walks of life coming and bringing their brainiac experiences to the table.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the premise of the show. What is it about that you can share with us?
Right. So the show's about the Douglases. It's this family who loses the patriarch of their family. They go to therapy to work on healing, and through the healing process, they remember like great memories they had with their dad, and then those memories are played out in a 1990s sitcom.
No way.
Yes.
A sitcom in the play?
Within the play. It's a sitcom, and it's very Family Matters, Full House, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with, the original Aunt Viv.
The original Aunt Viv. Hold on. If folks know about this show, it's the original Aunt Viv makes a total difference. You're kind of channeling a little bit of Aunt
Viv, yes, how she always came out with like the sash over.
Yes,
definitely.
Okay.
And so, and through that, they find their healing, but also through that experience, they find some unsavory truths also about each other and about the family that they then have to deal with and face and work through.
Okay.
So
that is a cliffhanger. So we're just going to have to show up.
Yes, you are.
Sometime between the 18th and the 28th.
28th, yep.
And this is probably a good time to kind of like what goes into the writing process. I want to understand.
I'm not trained as a playwright. I've never done like an internship. I didn't study it in school. Writing and like English has always been my best subject. And I've always loved to write. Like I said, I started off doing poetry.
Sure.
And it took a while actually to do this new version. The original one was like 45 pages, if that. Probably not. I might be exaggerating because it was only a one-act show. But I just sat down and kind of like hammered that out, right?
Okay.
But this one, I really wanted to think of how can I bring me into it? So some of my experiences, just little things. Like I'm from Oakland, California, like throwing that in there. I'm a Muslim, throwing a bit of that in there. And I'm a child of the 90s. I grew up in the 90s, all things 90s, and I love it, and I love pop culture and all of that. So, having that be in there. And it took like 3 or 4 months, probably closer to 4 months, and that's just the first draft. That doesn't include the rewriting. And so I started rewriting in January, and it's been a year of me doing rewrites.
Wow.
And it was just sitting back and just waiting for inspiration to kind of hit me, thinking about, okay, what if I wrote it this way? Oh, that didn't work. Okay, what if I put it in this premise? Oh, that didn't work. And then I was sitting up, and it just literally hit me like, what if I do it this way? This 1990s sitcom.
Sure.
And that's my jam. I love I still rewatch 1990s sitcoms.
Same.
And I'm telling you, TGIF, that lineup on ABC was
epic.
Yeah, I have so many memories with my siblings of sitting around the TV and
Right.
watching it, the whole 2 hour, lineup. And so I said, oh, let's do that.
You had a whole idea.
Yeah, and then I just, I had to do several rewrites after that. But once I got that premise, I was like, okay, now this is where we're going.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have so many more questions. If you're just joining us, we welcome you to the SPNN Forum. I'm sitting down with a local playwright and actor, Siddeeqah Shabazz, and we're talking about your play, which is called
They Wear Teal Ribbons Around Their Tongues.
They Wear Teal Ribbons Around Their Tongues. Why teal?
Is
Is there significance
There
with
is
that?
significance with that.
Do we have to wait to watch the play? Don't give away too much.
That's
But I wanna
why. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
there is significance. And I will say this, there's a lot of lightheartedness in the play. There's a lot of comedy in the play. And I think the actors who are just brilliant, and again with Lester's direction, just brilliant, and they bring that to life. But there's some heaviness in the show, which is with the representation of the teal. And it's not meant to like re-traumatize anyone, but it is meant to bring up these issues that happen within families, that happen in the African American community and how it's dealt with.
Okay.
And it's meant to create conversation, and we'll have resources there for people as well to reach out if anyone's experienced things like this, or if anyone need a resource for friends, family, whomever, their communities, whomever. So we are there to, yes, bring up some of the tough issues, but also there to take care of you. And that's what's great about Full Circle. They always partner with other organizations. So it's not like, let me just throw this on you and then you got to go home and deal with it. It's like, no, here's also resources to deal with these things and to help support you.
That is so appreciated, because this is likely to be relatable to so many audience members.
Yeah.
And how thoughtful and mindful for you to have some resources there on hand. So this project probably wasn't free. You don't just put things together and it is what it is. How does one create a production like this? What kind of funding goes into it?
Well, Full Circle Theater, we are a nonprofit, and so we look for funding that will support the arts. You have MREC, you have MSAB, you have the NEA grant, Bush Foundation. Like, there's just so many different organizations that's out there to help get your work out. And what's great about a lot of these organizations, especially like MRAC and MSAB, they work with, and McKnight Foundation, mind you, they work with individual artists. So you can write the grant, get the funding, and then you can start from the ground up and getting a team together and getting a theater space, because Full Circle, it's not a brick and mortar. So we go to different spaces, and Gremlin was available, and we are so gracious for them to bring the show to the stage and to the public, So I would say look for funding. It's so much out there that you can do as an artist, and be a paid artist and pay other artists working with you, props and stage managers and all of the things, photographers and for publicity and all of those things. So
oh my gosh,
you can be a working artist.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because we forget, or some of us that are audience members don't know the process. And I think it's important for some people to actually understand that, because it's not, you don't just go, for them it's they go to and sit in the seats and then watch this amazing production. But the moments, days, weeks, months, even years, if this was written 10 years ago. So were auditions held? What were the practices like? I now want to know about the process. Had to go through.
Once I got the play to a really great space, and that actually was about August of last year, I was able to get a group of folks together, professional artists, professional actors together to read the show, so to hear it out loud. And so I just sat back and then got their feedback, and then went back and made some changes. Then we were able to hire Lester to come in as the director. He read it, and he gave some suggestions for changes.
Sure.
And so getting that feedback was great. And I think the most crucial part in the process, once we got the funding for it and hired the director and found folks for costumes, which then Lester ended up doing.
Oh my goodness,
no,
you're
Lester
kidding. He's a Renaissance man.
Amazing dramaturg, director, costume designer. He's incredible.
Oh
I'm telling you,
Okay.
Lester. Hire him, people.
Lester, thank you for your work.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Lester Mayer's incredible. We got a stage manager, props, someone to do props, and we have an intimacy director or intimacy coach. And, once we started getting the team together, and then we were ready to start rehearsals. And even the rehearsal process, for me, it was like, okay, now seeing it, okay, I need to change this. This transition is too fast. Okay, this needs to be said. Okay, now I see that some of this comedy, these jokes or what have you, they don't work now hearing it out loud with actors actually playing the parts.
So you had to do some live edits.
Oh, yeah.
Just being in your big shoes.
Yeah.
What's an
Intimacy
coach?
So an intimacy
See,
coach.
I got you.
Yeah, I know.
Tongue-tied. Sorry.
No. It's actually something that's really new into theater, and I don't know if they have it on TV or like for movies and things like that, which they should if they don't.
Sure.
And they are the person to come in. So when you have scenes of like violence, when you have scenes of intimacy, like love scenes, even any type of affection, like kissing and things like that.
Right.
So anytime when actors are just really close and intimate, essentially,
Right.
they are there to work with the actors to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel safe, to make sure that there's an agreement between the actors. Okay, we're doing this now, and then this is the next step, and the next step. So you don't have an actor coming in and just being like, I'm gonna just jump in and do this, and it's like, no, you have to make sure that this environment is safe for everyone, and everyone is consenting.
See, that's the word that is so powerful, and in years past has been underserved, underused, and not that it's not perfect, but I love the fact that you have that. I had never heard of that role before.
Yeah,
and more
it's
information
incredible.
for the audience to really appreciate,
Yeah.
and then the direction that these actors are given and the power they exude.
Yeah.
Is this a family-friendly show, or is this a certain age and above recommendation?
Age and above, it is 14 and up.
Okay.
I feel like it's appropriate, definitely for 14 and up. I would not recommend it for like children whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the intimacy coach and the certain scenes that you're
Correct.
probably
And
alluding
some of-
to.
Yep, exactly.
What is your hope or goal after this runtime of 2 weeks?
I'm hoping there will be more opportunities for all of us, for all the actors. Like I said, it's a full Black cast. And I say that, and I know people think, oh, it's a Black show. And it's not that. This show is for everyone.
Oh, of course.
It's 100% for everyone. It's just, we just have these bodies on stage, and it's a beautiful thing. And these are the bodies we're made in, and there you go.
Absolutely.
And I'm hoping there'll be more opportunities to write more. And I am also a burgeoning director, so to direct more. I am hoping to be inspired to write, just personally to write more. And also for the actors, it'd be great for them to continue working.
Right.
But also I'm hoping that this thing that happens in the show, the point of the show, essentially, what the show's about, I'm hoping that it would also open people to heal, those who might be affected by some of the issues in the show.
Sure.
I'm hoping more conversation will happen. And I'm just also hoping people have a great time and just really come see the show. Why
Okay.
not support your local theater?
Oh, absolutely support local theater.
Yeah.
I love that you addressed that during COVID is when some of the work was being done for local creatives, because the arts took a big hit
Yes.
across the world.
Yes.
But to know that there are nonprofits, which is why there's nonprofits, because there's gaps and opportunities, and the nonprofits provide that,
Yep.
gave other artists like yourself the capacity and the space to be able to create more.
Yeah.
So Full Circle website is where we can go to get tickets.
Yep,
Can we
Full
buy them
Circle
at the
Theater.
door?
Yes.
Okay.
And tickets are all pay what you can.
Pay what you
Just-
can.
Yep.
Wonderful. So if you want to drop a 50, or you can only drop a 5,
Or if you have a
nothing.
1, or if you have nothing, we're not turning anyone away.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a welcoming show. Thank you for all you do in the community as a
Thank
creative, as a boss lady, as a woman of color. No, truly.
No, I appreciate
As
it.
a gal with style, as a lover of teal. Okay, I digress.
Lover of teal.
I digress. Okay, so the show starts, soft opening on the 17th, April 18th through the 28th.
Yep.
Full Circle's website can get all the tickets. This is not a family-friendly show, age 14 and above. Siddeeqah, thank you again for coming back and chatting with us. We will applaud you now and come back again. We like having you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right, you're watching SPNN Forum. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please enjoy the show. We'll see you next time.